The email hits your inbox at exactly 4:48 p.m. on a Friday. Subject line, organizational update. You know what it is before you even click it. You can feel the cold, synthetic hum of the office air conditioner suddenly getting louder. Your finger hovers over the mouse. You click. A glossy, smiling photo of Julian stares back at you. The text is standard corporate garbage. We are thrilled to announce Julian's promotion to Senior Director of Strategy. Julian has shown exceptional leadership, unparalleled vision, and a commitment to our core values. Julian. Julian is a guy who wears loafers without socks. Julian is a guy who uses the word bandwidth in casual conversation. Julian spends 3 hours a day leaning against the glass walls of conference rooms, holding an empty Yeti tumbler, nodding deeply at whatever the vice president says. Julian doesn't know how to run a pivot table. Julian doesn't know the access codes to the server room. Julian has never stayed past 5:01 p.m. For 3 years, you have been the engine. You are the one who caught the 6-figure billing error on the Anderson account. You are the one who rewrote the Q2 projections over Thanksgiving weekend while your family ate turkey in the other room. You believed the lie. You believed that if you just kept your head down, if you just worked twice as hard as everyone else, the invisible scales of justice would tip in your favor. You look across the open plan office. Julian is standing by the espresso machine, high-fiving the regional manager. Something inside your chest quietly snaps. It doesn't roar. It doesn't scream. It just breaks, like a dry twig under a heavy boot. You realize the game is rigged. It was never about the work. The work is just the tax paid by the naive. It's a theater production, and you've been sweeping the stage while guys like Julian are out there playing the lead. So you decide to stop sweeping. You decide to learn the lines. Monday morning, you walk into the building differently. You don't immediately log into the database. You don't check the overnight error logs. Instead, you walk straight to the break room. You pour a coffee. You stand there. When the director of operations walks in, you don't look down at your shoes. You make eye contact. You smile. You ask him about his son's lacrosse tournament. You don't care about lacrosse. You don't even know the rules. But you listen and you nod and you mirror his posture. It feels dirty at first. It feels like wearing someone else's skin. But it works. The director smiles back. He remembers your name. The metamorphosis begins. You stop sending detailed 10-page analysis reports. Nobody reads them anyway. Instead, you start sending 3 bullet-point emails with words like actionable, synergy, and paradigm shift. When a massive data migration project lands on your desk, the old you would have rolled up your sleeves, bought a pack of Red Bull, and prepared for 3 sleepless nights. The new you looks around the room. That's when you see Maya. Maya is 22. She's fresh out of college. She sits with perfect posture in a cheap ergonomic chair. She brings her lunch in a plastic Tupperware container. She has a row of color-coded highlighters perfectly aligned next to her keyboard. You recognize the look in her eyes. It's hunger. It's desperation. It's the exact same look you had 3 years ago. You walk over to her desk. You lean casually against her cubicle wall, just like Julian used to do to you. "Hey, Maya," you say, keeping your voice soft, conspiratorial. "I've got this high-visibility project. It's complex. Mostly back-end migration strategy. I could do it myself, but I think this would be an incredible growth opportunity for you." Do you have the bandwidth to shadow me on this? Her eyes light up. She thinks she's being chosen. She thinks she's being mentored. Absolutely, she says. I'd love to. Great, you smile. I'll forward you the brief. Take a first pass at it. Let's see what you've got. You don't just offload the migration project. Over the next month, you systematically drain your workload onto her desk. You frame every tedious, soul-crushing task as a learning experience. You tell her you're grooming her for management. You tell her she's a rock star. You use all the buzzwords while Maya is drowning in spreadsheets, missing her evening yoga classes, eating stale vending machine pretzels for dinner. You are networking. You start taking 2-hour lunches with the marketing team. You laugh loudly at jokes that aren't funny. You wear slightly more expensive shirts. You learn how to look incredibly busy while doing absolutely nothing. You carry a leather notebook everywhere you go, writing down nothing but doodles, but you tap your pen against it as if it holds the secrets to the universe. The executives start noticing you. They start calling you a big picture thinker. They say you have executive presence, all because you stopped doing your job and started playing the character of someone who is too important to do actual work. Then comes the Q4 Global Strategy pitch. This is the big one, the career maker. The company is looking to acquire a smaller tech firm, and they need a bulletproof risk assessment. The vice president wants it on his desk by Friday. You go to Maya, you put a hand on her shoulder, you give her the speech. Maya, this is the big leagues. I need you to run the numbers. Dig deep. Find the flaws in their financial models. I'm going to be managing the stakeholder expectations upstairs, but I need you in the trenches. Maya nods. She looks exhausted. The dark circles under her eyes match the dark circles you used to have. But she nods. I won't let you down. She spends 4 days building the most beautiful, comprehensive slide deck you have ever seen. She catches a massive liability hidden in the target company's pension fund. It's brilliant work. It's the kind of work that saves a corporation millions of dollars. She emails it to you at 3:15 a.m. on Thursday. You open the file on Friday morning. You sip your overpriced macchiato. You click on the title slide. You highlight her name. You press delete. You type your own name. At 10:00 a.m., you walk into the glass boardroom on the top floor. The air up here smells different. It smells like leather, ozone, and expensive cologne. The vice president is there. The regional directors are there. Julian is there, giving you a slick wink from across the mahogany table. You project the slide deck onto the massive screen. You don't read from a script. You walk around the room. You pause for dramatic effect. When you get to the slide about the pension fund liability, the room goes dead silent. The vice president leans forward, steepling his fingers. You found this? He asks, his voice low. I did, you lie. The words slide out of your mouth like they were coated in oil. It's so easy. It's terrifyingly easy. I felt we needed to look beneath the surface. The data doesn't lie, Richard. Richard nods slowly. Brilliant catch. Really phenomenal work. You glance out through the glass walls of the boardroom. Down on the main floor, sitting in the sea of gray cubicles, is Maya. She is watching the boardroom. She can't hear what is being said, but she can see the slides. She can see Richard nodding. She can see you shaking his hand. You catch her eye for a fraction of a second. You see the confusion on her face. Then you see the exact moment the realization hits her. Her posture slumps. The light in her eyes dies. You look away. You smile at Richard. It was a team effort, but I'm glad I could steer the ship. 3 weeks later, the email hits the company inboxes at 4:48 p.m. on a Friday. Subject line, Organizational Update. We are thrilled to announce your promotion to Senior Director of Operations. It comes with a massive salary bump, stock options, a parking space with your name painted in crisp white letters, and the corner office. It's late November. The sky outside is a bruised, dark purple. It's 8:30 p.m. on a Tuesday. The main floor is completely empty. The fluorescent lights have automatically dimmed to a low, hum-filled glow. You are sitting in your new office. The chair is real leather. It adjusts perfectly to your spine. The silence in the room is heavy, insulated from the noise of the city below. You pour yourself a glass of scotch from the crystal decanter on your desk. You didn't even like scotch a year ago, but it felt like the right prop to buy. You stand up and walk over to the glass wall that looks out over the bullpen. Down below, at the far end of the floor, a single desk lamp is still on. It's Maya. She is huddled over her keyboard, wrapped in a cheap cardigan, typing furiously. You know exactly what she's working on. It's the Q1 forecasting report. The report you were supposed to write. The report you told her would be a great learning opportunity. You watch her reach for a lukewarm cup of coffee. You watch her rub her eyes, fighting the exhaustion. You take a sip of the scotch. It burns your throat. You look at your reflection in the cold, thick glass of your office wall. You see the tailored suit. You see the confident posture. You see the slight, cynical smile resting on your face. You look at Maya grinding her life away in the dark, and then you look back at your own reflection. The transition is complete. The golden handcuffs are secured tight around your wrists, and they are heavy, and they are beautiful. You have won the game. But as you stand there, listening to the hollow hum of the ventilation system, you realize the horrifying truth. You didn't beat the monsters. You just became one. The office lights are off, but we are still here. You know this isn't just a ghost story. You've seen this happen. Maybe you've watched a Julian take your credit. Or maybe, if you're being brutally honest with yourself in the dark, you've been the one holding the glass of scotch, watching someone else bleed for your paycheck. The corporate machine doesn't care about your soul. It only cares about its gears. If this story hit a nerve, drop a comment below. Tell us your story. And subscribe to join the few who actually see the strings. We're waking up, one story at a time. See you in the next shift.